So tell your dead mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama.
Just a few weeks ago, King Harris was front and center, talking big and treating 50 Cent like a punchline. Now the vibe has flipped. The same guy who was clowning Fif is suddenly being painted as someone looking for an off-ramp because the rumor mill says 50 Cent is gearing up a documentary that could put the entire Harris household under a microscope. Word started swirling in early March 2026 that 50 is attached to a project being floated under the working title Surviving T.I. and Tiny. And if even a portion of what bloggers and commentary pages are hinting at ends up on screen, it's the kind of thing that doesn't just win an online argument. It rewrites how people talk about you in real time. That's why King's switch from all-out aggression to what looks like damage control has people paying attention. Before the documentary chatter ever hit the timeline, he wasn't simply responding to a celebrity beef. He was going for pressure points repeatedly, and in a way hip-hop audiences tend to view as crossing a serious line.
Yo mama dead as dig that up. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that.
The moment that really set the internet on fire was a viral video of King responding after 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris. King didn't just defend his mom, he went for a shock tactic that instantly changed how the public judged the entire back and forth. Instead of keeping it aimed at 50, King dragged 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, into the conversation, referencing a tragedy from 50's childhood that most people consider off-limits. And once that clip spread, it wasn't just a son standing up for his family anymore. It became a headline-worthy controversy that made even casual spectators pick a side.
Don't go. I'm not going about my mama, nigga. I'm not going.
King's message was consistent. He wasn't going to let anyone disrespect his mother. But the way he delivered that point is what turned the audience against him, because he defended one mom by disrespecting another, one who isn't here to respond, clap back, or set the record straight. That distinction mattered online, and you could see the shift almost instantly. People who might have shrugged at another round of celebrity insults started calling it cruel, and that public reaction helped create the perfect conditions for 50 Cent to escalate without looking like the villain.
So tell your dead mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mother.
And King didn't keep it confined to one video. He kept pushing the moment into merchandise and music, showing up in a t-shirt featuring Sabrina Jackson's image, rolling out a cannabis strain called Ms. Jackpack with packaging that used her likeness, and putting out diss records that leaned into the same theme. One track, Drop Top, included a jab framed around 50's mother that hit like a deliberate provocation rather than a clever punchline. The response was messy, but loud. A small group tried to frame it as a young artist writing for his family, but a much bigger portion of the internet saw it as a 21-year-old chasing attention by mocking a deceased woman. And 50 Cent, who's built a reputation not just as a rapper but as a strategist, clearly clocked every single move. Because here's the thing about 2026 celebrity beef: nothing disappears. Clips get reposted, screenshots get saved, and commentary channels break down every lyric and product launch like evidence in a trial. So when the documentary rumors surfaced, King's earlier stunts didn't feel like old news. They looked like a documented trail of escalation that 50 could point to if anyone asked why he'd take things further. This is also where the bigger history comes into play, because the friction didn't start with King at all. 50 Cent and T.I. came up in the same era from different corners of the culture. 50's 2003 run, with Get Rich or Die Tryin', colliding in time with T.Y.'s trap music era that helped cement Atlanta's dominance. For years, the tension stayed mostly indirect, more about status and regional pride than direct attacks. That calm cracked around the pandemic era Versus Boom, when T.I. publicly pushed for a matchup and 50 repeatedly brushed it off, framing himself as beyond the music battle lane thanks to his TV success, especially the Power universe. The refusal didn't just feel like a no, it landed like a public dismissal, and that's where the tone turned personal. By February 2026, things had fully tipped. T.I. went on Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap and called 50 out, then released Let Him Know, filmed in New York, taking shots at 50's age and his Hollywood pivot. 50 didn't answer with a song. He answered with a resurfaced clip implying T.I. cooperated with law enforcement, a label that can instantly turn a rap debate into a full-blown character assassination. From that point on, it stopped being about catalogs and became about reputation damage. That's the fire King stepped into without fully respecting the heat. Raised in the public eye through T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, King was old enough to jump in, but still young enough to move impulsively. When 50 posted Tiny's photo, the family reacted and King went the hardest. The Harris camp dropped multiple diss tracks as a unit, with King contributing some of the most aggressive moments, while T.I. defended his kids' loyalty in interviews in a way that read like an approval stamp. The problem was that King's approach gave 50 more material while giving King more backlash, and that's a terrible trade when the person you're poking is known for playing the long game.
My mama, listen, your mama changed.
Online commentators largely agreed King had pushed it too far, because disrespecting a deceased parent is viewed differently than trading insults with a living rival, and the power imbalance was impossible to ignore. King, 21, trying to outshock a 50-year-old mogul who doesn't even need to rap to dominate the conversation. While the Harris side flooded social media with content, 50 mostly kept it light, memes, captions, and a carefully timed aura of "wait for it." That restraint is part of 50 Cent's brand. He's famous for letting the other side overextend, then answering with something they can't match. And this time, the rumored answer isn't a diss track. It's allegedly a documentary, long-form, polished, and designed to live far longer than any viral clip. That's why the surviving T.I. and Tiny whispers hit like a siren. The title alone is loaded, echoing the cultural impact of Surviving R. Kelly and signaling that the angle wouldn't be playful rap drama. It would be an indictment-style narrative. 50 also fueled the speculation by referencing the couple's past controversy, pointing directly at the sexual assault allegations that have followed T.I. and Tiny since 2021. Those claims have been described online as involving accusations of assault, drugging, and coercion, amplified at the time by social media posts from a former associate and followed by lawsuits in the years after. Many of the cases have been dismissed on procedural grounds, including statute of limitations issues, and there have been no convictions, while T.I. and Tiny have consistently denied wrongdoing and maintained that any private activity involved consenting adults. But entertainment history shows a documentary doesn't need a courtroom verdict to cause career-level fallout. It only needs a compelling, tightly edited story. For T.I., a project like that threatens more than pride. It threatens partnerships, ventures, and the carefully maintained image of a businessman and family man. For King, it's even more personal, because his platform is tied to the Harris name. If the brand takes a hit, so does the runway he's trying to build his own career on. And that's the twist. King's loudest defense may have handed 50 even more usable content. Every clip, every shirt, every product, every lyric can be reframed as part of a larger narrative if a doc ever materializes. So when gossip pages say King has gone quieter, fewer diss tracks, less merch talk, less provocation, it reads like someone finally realizing this isn't a street corner argument. It's a media war. T.I., meanwhile, has projected defiance, even suggesting he's willing to go doc for doc, which could be confidence, performance, or a strategy to keep fans from smelling fear. But being a veteran at crisis management isn't the same as being immune to consequences, and it definitely isn't the same as being safe from collateral damage, especially for a 21-year-old still building his identity. Reactions across platforms like X and Reddit have been split. Some people see 50's alleged documentary threat as the ultimate checkmate in a beef he never needed to rap his way through. Others see it as an uncomfortable example of how lopsided celebrity conflict can get when one side has memes and money, and the other side has impulse and Instagram. Either way, it's a very 2026 lesson. The loudest voice doesn't always win. The person with the most leverage does. King had words, visuals, and viral moments. 50 Cent has a production machine, a distribution network, and a track record of turning grudges into content. If King really did try to walk things back, it wouldn't be weakness as much as clarity, just arriving a little late after the internet already saved the receipts.